you know the scenario where you realize that the current thing that you are doing, that you are in the middle of, is just not worth it anymore. I'm talking about, choosing a life path, or when you're young and starting out, and most of the people that I see, they don't really think about. I mean, most of the people don't really think about what they do. They just kind of do it, you know. They accept the fact that, you start when you're in this country where I am specifically, when you're like 16, 17. You do an apprenticeship, basically, if you don't go to study. And, you know, you either stay in that profession or you don't. And do something quote unquote simple. Of course, if you like the school system and if you're smart, quote unquote, sure, you can go to school, go to a university. Depending on how you look at it, spend or waste a good few years of your life, and in the end, either be a professor or how can I take your order, please, kind of guy. Now, of course, I'm going off of stereotypes, extremes, but this is my view on it in a short sum. So I would like to give a perspective, or lack of perspective, I don't know. The situation I'm currently in is that I went to school, right? I'm still going, even though not really. I know the things I like, but they are not. Rather, I know the things I like, my hobbies and shit, but I just don't know how to monetize them, and or don't really care to monetize them. That's a complexes for another day to discuss. But this is what the dilemma is, right? When you not recognize, but if you recognize how now society is and how the world is, right? Of course, it's a really complicated matter that I'm nowhere smart enough to discuss. But internally, intuitively, you realize things, and maybe you cannot describe it. You can point a finger at it as to what is that you don't like, and that intuitive knowing of the end things, of the things, and figuring out what those really are, that is what's hard. That is probably what adulthood is all about. But again, what I'm trying to say is, I'm in the middle of something, right, that I committed to half a year ago, let's say. And with time you realize, as you grow, that this option is just not for you. Now, of course, you just drop out, or if you're that impulsive, right? But even after, what happens if you really think about it, not just from impulse, but like, okay, this is just not worth it. I'm a young adult now. hitting almost legal age in the whole world. So go off of that. And you know, the current situation I'm personally in just does not let me to take another shot, you know, like take another shot at school or take another shot at figuring shit out. So imagine you're stranded, you have taken your shots, but now you're stranded and this is the last one. Like, this is the last decision that you can make that you can't opt out of, you know. Plus, you are stranded on an island. Like, there is no going back and or only forward, you know. Like, it's about survival, life or death. And what do you do then? Well, you just go for it. You know, you just go for it, really. But you don't have to be in this kind of situation to. You can do it smartly, you know. You can do it the smart way. When you're, for example, you have one occupation that is quote unquote necessary. Let's say you're going to school, but you have ideas to start your own shit and or build up a side hustle that you eventually, you know, through the years going to be something, you know, potentially. But where I stand, I want to do my own shit, you know. Like, I don't have the patience, I guess. And this is a flaw of my character that is apparent, but you know, either or, just fucking do it. What this rambling is on about, I have no idea. I am going to share it anyways. So if you didn't understand anything, the point to take away is, what I would like you to take away is, if you are in a life or death situation where there's no opting out, one decision you can make: go with the one that you know intuitively is your desire, that you want to do, really. And if you don't know, well, I hope you're not in a situation like that. Until then, for that problem, just throw yourself out there. Because believe me, the ones that go out of their comfort zones will be rewarded with something. However, you shouldn't go in with the expectation of getting something out of it. Just go out in search of something. Yeah, FD out.